Hi everyone. Okay, so this is the second part of my choosing a breed group, or video rather. Choosing a group of dog when you're looking for dogs to begin with. I find people tend to jump right into the breeds, and I find people have a hard time finding a dog that's good for them because they don't understand the bigger picture. So in the last video I went over the sporting dogs, the hounds, the working dogs, and your terriers. Now, each of these groups have very different lifestyles, and they were bred for very different things. So if you're interested in a dog that falls into one of those groups, I suggest looking at the other video. This video, I'm going to focus on the toy group, the non-sporting group, and the herding group. I lied, there's 7. So, toy dogs. Now, these group of dogs have become really, really popular the last little while, and it's very unfortunate because I find that people are overlooking other dogs because they want certain characteristics in what they think is in a toy dog, and they totally miss. They get a dog that's not right, they don't do their research, and a lot of people I find are upset in the long run. So your toy dogs are very much so selectively bred. They weren't dogs that just kind of happened to go in the right direction. Let's say like your retrievers or your huskies or the Saint Bernard. Those dogs kind of developed in certain areas by very little human intervention. Toy breeds were bred specifically to be lapdogs. Because of this, a lot of things have been overlooked, like their lack of, being able to handle the heat or the cold. They are very, 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 very needy dogs. They need you for everything. They most of the time require very little exercise, which is why a lot of people like it, because, let's face it, when you walk around the block at a normal speed, your toy dog's pretty much running to keep up. So, for people who aren't totally huge on the walking thing, they do make good pets for that reason. That doesn't give you an excuse not to walk your dog. They're also very, very affectionate. One of my biggest, hugest, ginormous pet peeves about this group is that people think that they're a wash-and-wear dog, and that's just not the case. These dogs were built and bred to be like a needy child, okay? We're not talking like a Dalmatian where you give it a bath every now and again and it's happy. We're talking big bucks at the groomers kind of dog. So you have your more common dogs like your Maltese and your Pomeranian and your Pekingese. Pugs are actually in this group too. They don't really require a lot of grooming, but they do have a lot of health problems because of the brachycephalic nose, which means it's smushy. Same thing with the Pekingese. If you're looking for a dog who's going to be easy on your vet bills, I don't suggest one of these. Because of the look, they have a lot of issues. Silky Terriers and Maltese and Havanese, their fur doesn't stop growing. That's what makes them hypoallergenic, which means that you're going to pay to have your dog groomed. Now, one of my biggest pet peeves is that a lot of people will get these dogs and then shave them down to like 1/4 of an inch. Well, why, in God's name, would you get a dog to shave it down to the skin when you could have gone to a shelter and picked up a dog for next to nothing that was probably already spayed or neutered, house-trained, if you were just going to shave it down anyway? A lot of people kind of overlook that because, oh, I want a cute little Maltese, and then they bring their Maltese to my shop and they're like, oh my god, I didn't know it was going to get so matted. Well, they do require some brushing here. These dogs are, like, I do like the toy breeds. They are very high-strung, though. It's almost like they know that people are like, oh, you're so cute. Chihuahuas tend to be the worst. My sister has a Chihuahua. I actually picked this one out. Very, very friendly dog. Loves everybody. Loves every dog. She'll walk up to anybody. Then you get other ones who you just want to strangle because they're nasty. These aren't dogs that you're going to want to carry around like this. It's not a purse, it's a dog. They do need to be walked. They do need to be socialized, and they do need to be put in their place. That doesn't mean that you can't cuddle with them and sleep with them and put bows in their hair, but you do need to put your foot down every now and again. Big pet peeve. This group includes the miniature pinscher. The miniature pinscher is not a miniature Doberman. In fact, the miniature pinscher is before the Doberman. So, I don't want to hear anybody say, oh, I have a miniature Doberman. No, you have a miniature pinscher. The Doberman pinscher is not the same as the German pinscher, which is the standard size of the miniature pinscher. Just so we got this all clear. Vinny, would you cut it out? The neighbor's going out for a walk. Holy cow. Speaking of Vinny, my next group is the non-sporting group. This is where we have lots of problems. A lot of people don't understand that a lot of what they think is in the toy group is actually in the non-sporting group. And non-sporting group does not mean no exercise. Non-sporting means that they weren't bred to hunt, and they weren't really bred to do a specific job like search and rescue or finding people or guarding stuff. They're kind of just a mishmash, all kind of sort of smushy dog. So these dogs include your American Eskimos, and I don't want anybody to tell me that the American Eskimo was bred for pulling sleds, because they weren't. The American Eskimo is actually descendant of like the Spitzy dogs, the Finnish Spitz, Japanese Spitz, stuff like that, curly tails, pointy ears, fox-like. We're not bred to pull stuff. We're not. Yes, they can carry a backpack, totally cool with that, but they were not bred to pull stuff around. That's just not true. You have your Bichon Frise, another huge pet peeve of mine. Bichon Frise are non-shedding dogs, great little guys. They're a little bit bulkier than a Chihuahua or a Shih Tzu or anything like that, which is also in the non-sporting group, which makes them good lap dogs because you're not scared you're going to break them. But their fur doesn't stop growing, which means that you're going to have to go to the groomer every 6 weeks, or you're going to have to spend a lot of time brushing your dog. And it's that curl, I swear, that makes it really hard for them to stay straight. You have your Bulldogs, your Boston Terriers, Dalmatians, French Bulldogs are also in this group. Lhasa Apso. I get people who say this really wrong. It's not Lhasa or Lapso Apso. I hear a lot of. It's Lhasa Apso. Really easy once you get it straight. Your Poodles are in this group, except for the Toy Poodle, which is a toy breed. So your miniature and your standard. Your Shiba Inu is in this group. Your Shih Tzu is in this group. Which means that you can't just let your Shih Tzu sit on the couch all day. It does need to go out for a walk. Actually, a little tidbit for you. A Shih Tzu, or Shih Tzu is how it's pronounced. I have a hard time. It doesn't roll off my tongue nice. Is actually technically a mix between a Lhasa Apso and a Pekingese. That's why they have smushy faces. So if you ever come up to a dog and you're not sure it's a Shih Tzu or a Lhasa, look at their nose. Lhasas have longer noses, which means that if you're looking for a dog who's non-shedding but isn't going to have all the health issues, go for a Lhasa. They are people dogs. They were bred actually as like guard dogs. Nothing gets past a Lhasa, I promise. They also used to sit in the royal beds to keep the beds warm before all those fancy schmancy people used to come in. You get everything from that to Dalmatians who were actually bred to follow horse-drawn carts to keep everybody away. So these dogs aren't pushovers. They're not going to sit on your floor all day and just look cute. You're going to want to take them out. So this is the huge, ginormous thing that I push to people all the time, is that you need to know which group your dog's coming from, because your Shih Tzu is not going to sit on the couch all day. They're going to want to go and do stuff. That's what they were bred for. So if you're looking for a toy breed that's just going to sit on your lap and go for a 20-minute walk and be happy, then get a toy dog, not a non-sporting dog. It's huge. This is the biggest thing that I see is people think that they're in one group and they're really not. So the last group. the last group. These are the crazies. There's no other way to put it. The herding group was built to do that. They're herding dogs. So what they do is they were bred to pull all the flock together and drive them wherever they needed to go. And by drive, I mean like push the whole group in one direction. So these dogs were meant, where the sporting dogs were meant to go back and forth, like, you know, to get it and come back. These dogs were meant to, like, go back and forth all day. So they are going to run you until you're dizzy, and then they're going to say, why did you stop? And then they're going to push you to keep going, and then when you finally collapse, they're going to come up to you and poke you and go, why are you stopping? These dogs are nutcases. If you want a lap dog, do not get a herding dog. Sorry, little computer. These dogs are huge. You can get everything from like really small to absolutely enormous. These dogs are good with kids, but you gotta watch because some of them will try to herd them. They're very natural watchdogs because they like to keep their flock together, their family. They're, typically speaking, great for all weather because it didn't matter if it was raining or if it was sunny out, they had to go and drive the cattle. So if you're the kind of person who likes to go out for a jog every morning and wants to bring their dog, this is the dog for you. Actually, in front of my shop every morning, and I see them every morning. Family that comes around, it's usually the wife and sometimes their daughter, sometimes their husband, depending on who's home, with their old English sheepdog. And every day I see them run the same stretch. And he's a great dog because he gets the exercise. These dogs have the potential to be absolutely amazing if you get enough exercise. These dogs are also known for being very smart. They're very independent thinkers and they're problem solvers, which makes sense because when you got to go out and get 300 cows, you got to be able to think on your feet. So some of the dogs from this group are like your Finnish Lapin, your German Shepherd, and big debate here. German Shepherd. They are shepherds. They were built to collect things. People think that they're a non-sporting group or a working group because people have used them for like security dogs and for police dogs and search and rescue and all that kind of stuff. No, they're shepherds first. You have the Australians. You have your Australian cattle dog, your Australian Kelpie, your Australian Shepherd, your Australian stumpy tail. It's just crazy. You really got to know everyone to understand. Your bearded collies and your rough collies are in here. Your Shelties, I want to say, are in here too. Yes, the Sheltie, the Poolie, which is one with the big cords, not the black one, the white one. No, other way around. The Poolie's black. The Commodore is typically white. You have your Bouvier, you have your your Border Collie, which is huge popular. But please remember that these dogs require a lot of exercise. Even your Corgis are going to need a lot of exercise. They are not pushovers. They're going to need to run. The best thing, honestly, truly, the best thing you can teach your herding group to do is to fetch. You want to go outside or go out to your favorite pet store and pick up what is called a chucket or some sort of variation of that, or frisbee, something that you can get some good distance on. And you better hope that you're good at you get some good upper strength, because you're going to be throwing that ball for hours, and that is what you want. You want them to get that full-on tilt, run after it, come back, run after it, come back, run after it, come back. We're not talking walk around the block here. We're talking full tilt, get all that energy out. And I'll tell you, you'll know when your shepherd, whatever kind it happens to be, you know when your herding dog is tired when they get the ball and won't give it back to you. When they get that ball and they won't give it back to you, and when you call them over, they're like, okay, let's go. You know they're done. So that's my little spiel about the breeds. If you have any questions about any particular breed as general as a particular breed can be, please drop me a line. I'll do my best. And I hope you learned something, because this is really important when you're looking for a new dog. You want to make sure that you get the right dog for your family.